Success looks different for all of us because we all want different things from life. And so only those milestones bring us joy and satisfaction that are in tune with what we really want from life. No matter which walks of life they belong to, successful people's habits are geared towards making the most of their time and energy while getting better every day at what they do. And so, taking notes from the daily habits is like learning from a book that contains the writer's wisdom collected over decades. Habits reflect our approach to life. They set the tone of our life because about 40% of what we do every day are habits. So in this video, I have collected the 10 most effective of successful people's habits which can positively change how we experience life. The first habit is of staying curious, asking, what's that? How does it work? Steve Jobs once took a calligraphy course in college just because it was something he didn't know much about and was curious about it. But years later, it sprouted the idea of different stylized fonts on computer. It started with the first Mac computer and now we take them for granted on any computer, smartphone, tablet we use. The habit of asking what's that, how does it work is a great way to create the library of information which our conscious or subconscious mind can draw from when coming up with creative ideas, because that's essentially connecting existing information in unusual ways. So the diverse the topics of things we know about, the bigger is our inventory of ideas to draw from. There are loads of different ways we can know more about things: searching the internet, reading books, or listening to audiobooks if that's more your style, or even take up a course. Whatever suits your time, needs, preferences, or finances, but the idea is to make staying creative a natural part of our personality. But before moving on to the next successful people's habits, let me quickly introduce myself first. My name is Nandyz and I'm on a journey to have a bigger say in how things look in my life. And if that's something you too would like in, then this channel is for you. The next habit is the habit of making better decisions. Now, how can that be a habit? No one can make good decisions all the time. The trick is to have a technique in place that helps us make the best decisions we can make. Like legendary investor and philanthropist Warren Buffett, who makes it a point to know everything about the company, its management, its future plans, the public sentiment about it, and much more before he decides to buy its shares. And he's called the Oracle of Omaha because he rarely ever misses the mark. One great technique to use this idea in our life is to adapt the 6 hats technique, which essentially is about considering a decision from every angle: facts, gut feeling, alternatives, ways to go wrong, and opportunities before making a choice. No matter how effective or not the decisions turn out to be, we can be confident that we did the best that we could do. I share a few more techniques about making better decisions in a different video, which I will link in the description below if you would like to check it out. Now, meaningful success looks different for all of us because we all want different things from life and have a different picture of what the perfect life would look for us. But no matter what success means for us, taking consistent action is the one thing that proves that we are serious about it and also takes us closer to the goal faster. Now, working hard is a very good quality, no doubts about that. But it's better to start working smart if we want to stay consistent, motivated to push through to the end. We start procrastinating stuff sometimes because either they are too boring or too tough and will probably take up a lot of time. That digs into our motivation to keep showing up. Working smart is the habit of finding what ties in with our priorities or what's important for us and what we can find shortcuts for without affecting the outcome much. Shortcuts that are time and energy savers. An effective way to get into the working smart habit is to use Stephen Covey's 4-quadrant matrix for time management. Ariana Huffington, the founder of Huffington Post, is a very big supporter of taking short breaks throughout the day because they boost her productivity and decrease stress. She says it just makes a difference to how the rest of your day goes. And there are a lot of studies that also support this idea and show we usually stay focused on something for around 20 to 30 minutes. After that, our mind starts wandering. So it's a good idea to take a quick 5 minutes break or a 2-minute regulated breathing break between tasks. Now, successful people's habits are geared towards making the most of their time and energy. and most of them prefer to schedule in some quiet time in their day. And what this habit essentially does is give us time to catch up with our changing expectations, likes, dislikes, priorities, see what's working and what's not working, so that we can tweak our actions and plans to use our time, energy, and resources more efficiently. Mary Edo, CEO of JP Morgan, says calendar management is the single most important thing, especially as you get busy and have more responsibilities. And getting into the habit of working on things according to their priority for us is one of the key ways to manage time effectively. Stephen Covey also puts prioritizing as the third habit in his famous book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Now, the idea is to lean into a more decluttered and organized approach in whatever we do. Getting into the habit of taking an organized approach to our day, short-term goals, long-term goals, anything with realistically planned tasks based on their priority. Being efficient and productive, achieving our goals can be as simple as getting done whatever's on our daily to-do list, given that that list is based on the solid foundation of insight, effective planning, and the right approach. I go deeper into it with techniques and strategies in my next week's video, so remember to check in or subscribe to stay in the loop. Managing time becomes easier when we commit to things mindfully, saying yes because it fits in with our priorities or wouldn't overdraw on our time and energy. One of the most successful investor and philanthropist, Warren Buffett, also said, "The difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything because they are clear on how much and on what they can spend their time on to keep working on the things that they believe in." And one of the most common successful people's habits is respecting their boundaries, knowing clearly what they are and aren't ready to accept, and using that as a yardstick to make their commitments. And knowing clearly if and how much they are willing to stretch those boundaries. That's super important if we want to keep working on the things that we believe in and not stress out on the things that don't add value to our life. Now, these things become a part of our personality more easily if most people around us have a similar attitude to life. Our environment has a significant impact on our behavior and attitude, and the people we spend most of our time around make a big part of that environment. We unknowingly start leaning towards either the attitude of, why does this always happen to me? Or towards, okay, so this happened, what can we do about this? Depending on the company we keep. And the effect compounds over time. So another success habit is to stay connected with people who are either working towards the same thing, have similar values, cheer us on, and also offer constructive feedback. It's tough to maintain a healthy habit surrounded with all the wrong things. Bill Gates runs for an hour on the treadmill every day and also reads 50 books a year. Doing anything for our physical and mental fitness is something that should be a part of our daily habit if we want to keep showing up effectively for our commitments, our relationships, and the things we want to enjoy. A study published in the American Academy of Neurology shows that reading and other mentally stimulating activities are good for our brain health. It can be anything like taking the stairs instead of the elevator, or capoeira or kickboxing, anything you like, whatever fits in our routine. Fitness can look like anything we want if it is making us feel better at the end of the day. Jack Dorsey of Twitter does yoga and goes to the gym routinely. Doing what we know is comfortable, it's easy, but to achieve something we don't have yet, we have to obviously do things that we haven't yet done. And that means possibly overcoming challenges, things to learn, to upscale, hurdles to overcome. And that's precisely the kind of things that most successful people welcome, because that means they are going to get better at something than they are at it today. That's how we keep getting better every time, facing challenges and overcoming them, not just doing what we know well. According to Dr. Carol Dweck's book, Mindset, the habit of taking up challenges with a relish, staying open to learning whether from someone or from our mistakes and failures, is exactly the kind of mindset that makes us grow into the person that our goals and dreams demand. Whether it is staying fit or reading daily or making time to do things close to our heart, staying consistent is what helps us get the max results. And since habits make up about 40% of what we do every day, turning something into a habit is the simplest way to stay consistent, keep showing up even when not feeling really motivated. Jim Quick, the brain coach, uses his morning habits to supercharge his brain, and even though it's not perfect every day, he stays mindful of what he does do. And that's why the 10th one is the habit of staying mindful of our habits, changing bad habits and creating those new ones that add value to our life, that help us design the kind of life we appreciate. Watch this video over here if you would like to know how to change habits the way you like and make them last. I hope you found this video helpful. Take care and I'll see you in the next video.